everyone. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Celine.
And welcome back to the We Are Podcast.
We Are Podcast. That was off time. But anyways, this episode is going to be about...
stress.
I like how I pointed to you. You're my source of stress.
Literally. Okay.
So,
I think we're just going to talk about, like, what stress is, how we've experienced it, and how to cope with it. Because that's important.
And also how not to cope with it, too.
Yeah, okay. So, what is stress to you?
I don't know. I feel like, to me, stress is kind of like a slow burning thing.
Oh.
Like, yeah, okay, that sounds weird. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, to me, stress isn't like this, like, it's not intense, but it's like elongated, like...
It builds up.
It builds up over time. To me, that's what it is. And usually when I'm stressed, I'm, like, angry. Like, stress brings on other emotions and, like... I feel like it brings out the bad in me.
No,
like,
what do you mean? Like, what do you do when you're stressed that's bad?
I feel like when I'm stressed, I tend to, like, get really mad at people, like, over smaller things. Like, I tend to get into and not, like, fist fights, but, like, into, like, argumentative, like, or I'll be, like, you know, like,
I can testify.
I'll be like, oh my god, why did you do this? And, like, you know, like, yeah.
It's understandable, though, like, I get it. When you're stressed out, you kind of like, you know.
Yeah, okay, what about you?
Stress to me is like, kind of like feeling like you're like, you can't do it. Like there's so much that you can't do it. Like you can't, it's like eventually you're going to break and you're just going to give up on everything. Because like, I feel like whenever I'm stressed, I just need to like, there's so much going on that I feel like I'm going to forget one thing, and then once the one domino is off, the rest of the tower's going to, like, topple. That's, like, me when I'm under stressed. So, yeah, and, like, what I do when I'm stressed, I don't know, I feel like I'm, like, a little bit more, like, I get annoyed very easily just as it is. When I'm stressed, I get extra annoyed.
Yeah.
I feel like I might be a little pushier than normal. I don't know.
Passive-aggressive.
Yeah, maybe, like... I just don't have patience. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of like yeah. And I feel like guilty too a lot. I feel guilty about everything. But I'm also like pushy, so it's like pushy and guilty. Guilty pushy guilt.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pushy guilt.
Nice.
Pushy
guilt.
Okay. Yeah.
What are your, like, bad habits with stress? Like, what, like, besides, like, getting mad at people and stuff, like, what is your, like, bad habits to, like, cope with stress?
Wait, let me think. I would say, like, trying to, like, maintain everything at the level it is. Like, that's... Okay, let me explain this, because that made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you're, like, you have a lot to do, right? I feel like I'm more stressed when I'm, like, doing better. So, like, I want to maintain it as it is now, so I want everything to be as it is. You know, I don't want things to change at all. So I kind of, like... I guess I'm not, like, open-minded at all. Like, that would be, like, a bad thing. And, in terms of, like, an unhealthy habit, like... I don't know. I'll think about it. You go.
Yeah, okay. For me, I feel like I kind of like what you said. Like, I freak out with, like, maintaining everything. So, like, for something that requires, like, little to no effort, I put in way too much effort. And then I end up, like, burning myself out because of it. Because I'm, like, constantly thinking about it. And then the next thing comes on and I'm, like... It's just kind of, like, a straight, I feel like that's an issue with me. Like, especially going into high school where the workload is a lot worse. Like... I feel like I put too much effort into things, like projects, especially like homework, that doesn't need that much effort, and I would get the same grade, and then I just like freak out because I don't have enough time to do other things with it.
Yeah, I feel like I do this thing where I do like 110% effort, and if I don't give my full effort on like one tiny thing that doesn't matter, I feel like I'm not going to give effort on anything else. Like I have to maintain everything, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, and I feel like I also like I don't know, I kind of like, I just, like, feel like I can't, like, stop. Otherwise, like, I feel guilty. I, like, don't know how to explain it. Like, I just feel guilty about everything.
Is it, like, guilt about, like...
Like, taking a break, I feel guilty. Because then it's, like...
Yeah.
Okay,
you have so much to do,
like,
and you're
other
wasting
people
time.
have to work 24/7. Ahana. other people have to work all day and they get paid like below minimum wage, and you're over here with this opportunity and you're taking a break while you have like all this stuff to do. Shame on you, you know?
Yeah,
That's kind of like what my brain thinks. And it's like, it's kind of like, I mean, like, I kind of have a point, but I also don't. Like, it's like derogatory to myself. Which is like it's under, like, people do have harder lives. Like, they have to work way harder than I do. But at the same time, like, it's okay to take a break once in a while.
Yeah, because number one, if you don't take breaks, you're going to be much worse off, like, in the long run. Just so for yourself, for, like, if you actually want to do well, you should take breaks. And number two, you do deserve a break. Like, you don't always have to be comparing your life to other people's and, like, oh, just because someone else might be working harder or might be doing more doesn't mean that you don't deserve a break. Because they deserve a break, too. I mean, you know, everyone deserves a break, and if you have access to being able to give yourself a break, then you should, you know?
And that also happens, like, a lot, like, I've noticed with, like, eating disorders, which is, like, kind of, like, a different topic, but stress can cause eating disorders. Like, people are really stressed out about their body image, and then they feel like if they've been eating healthy and working out, like, for them to take a off day and eat unhealthy is, like, bad, like, and they feel guilty.
Deal. Right.
When in reality, like, maintaining a balance between healthy and, like, more treat foods is, like, even more healthy in the long run, because that can help you sustain yourself and be happy while also, like, meeting your, like, physical goals as long as they're in a healthy range, you know? Like, you know, wanting to, like, gain muscle and, like, be more physically fit is completely normal as long as you're reaching that by, like, healthy means. And we actually have an episode about, like, fitness and nutrition.
Oh, yeah, we do. And I think it's just very important to understand that it is okay to treat yourself, you know? Like, that is okay. Obviously, like, not, like, every second of every day you're, like, eating, like, you know, like a cake every day or something. Yeah, that's unhealthy. But there's a difference between being unhealthy and living your life, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's definitely...
That's a good way to put it.
Oh, thank
What's
you.
Like a physical thing you do to cope with stress that's like bad? Like
I break pencils a lot.
Oh, okay.
No, but I feel like it's just normal, you know, because it's like...
I used to break them for, like, to prove how strong I was. I didn't do it because
okay, pencils are so easy to break.
Yeah, but I was, like, 4 or, like, I don't know, like, 7.
I don't know, just because, like, sometimes I do get really mad, so I just, like, release it, you know?
I feel like I don't feel like punching things when I'm mad.
I don't
feel
like punching
people
things.
when I'm mad.
Oh, okay.
Just okay, not good.
I don't feel like doing anything that takes effort when I'm mad, so I have to do something that, like, releases anger but isn't like effort. Like, I can't, like, punch.
I feel like if I
don't want to, like, punch a punching bag because that takes too much work, you know?
I feel like if I were to do something, I would, like, rip stuff because I feel like that's satisfying.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's also unhealthy.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about healthy coping in the second half.
Yeah.
But for me, my, like, physical thing I do is I, like, pick my skin on my hands.
Oh,
It's actually better now, but it's disgusting, and I will show you it because it's good.
Actually,
I will show you it. If you don't want to see it, then please skip ahead in the video.
I don't want to see it. Can I skip ahead?
No, you
can't even see anything.
It's like...
But yeah, no, believe me, I know what you're talking about.
Wait, hold on. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like... I just, like, gnaw them, and then they, like, get to the point where I start, like, bleeding everywhere. It happens a lot in debate, actually. I'm, like, stressed out during the round, and so I'm, like,
during debate, when I'm stressed out, I, like...
And the worst part is like, they ask for, like, handshakes after, like, between the teams, and my hands are, like, bleeding, and I'm, like, hey... It's so embarrassing. I literally want to cry because it's so embarrassing. Okay, but anyway.
I think, like, a coping mechanism for... I can't speak. Some people is, like,
picking their hands, biting their lips, biting their nails.
Yeah, and obviously it's not good
picking
for
their face,
skin.
their scalp. Didn't you used to pick your face a lot too?
Yeah, for me, like, picking at, like, my acne and stuff, that was, like, a coping mechanism. Like, I would, like, pick a lot or, like, look in the mirror a lot. That was, like, a coping mechanism. But, yeah,
so,
what, do you have any others?
I feel like those are my main ones, but, like, don't do those because those are, like, overall, like, not healthy.
Yeah.
But after we get back from the break, which is gonna happen, we're gonna talk about good ways to cope with stress.
Right. So, do you want to just end it off?
Yeah.
All right. So let's end it off right now and stay tuned. Bye.
Yeah, welcome back from the break,
Welcome back. So now we're going to talk about healthy ways to cope with stress.
Okay, so...
All right, what is your healthiest stress coping habit?
Okay, so like we talked about how my bad coping habits and I'm trying to work on them. I really am. Sometimes like they don't always work. I still pick my hands, but that's okay because you don't need to immediately stop.
Yeah, I mean obviously it takes time.
Yeah, as long as you're trying, you're improving, then it's good. But anyway, my good coping mechanism, I feel like this is like my favorite thing to do now. Okay, so Celine got me like a like a glass whiteboard for my birthday.
Did I just fuel a coping mechanism?
No, not really. But I love glass whiteboards. They're like if someone gets me like a big, like huge classroom sized glass whiteboard, I will literally marry you.
Yeah. She wanted, I was gonna get like a glass cutting board for her birthday. It's a long story.
I love glass whiteboards.
It's really weird. I think that's an unhealthy coping mechanism.
No, okay, just listen. Okay, at my old house we had a glass table and I would literally like get an expo marker and like do math problems on the table and then erase them, and it was like literally like the best thing of my life because like it made homework so much better because I could literally just do them on the table. It was so satisfying. Anyway, but okay. So she got me a glass whiteboard, and like before I would like write things on like paper, but this is kind of like, so I use it now. And what I do is like when I'm feeling my stress normally comes from like feeling overwhelmed with things and feeling like eventually I'll break and like I won't be able to like maintain, like what she said, like maintain everything. So like what helps me now is writing to-do lists, which sounds kind of like, I mean, it might not work for everyone, but what it does for me is it clears up my mind of everything I need to do, so I know I won't forget something, and even if I do, it's like right in front of me and I can like go through and like I did this, like this is not in what I found myself like it doing for me a lot of the time is like it makes like in my head it's a lot, but then when I write it down it's not that much and it feels like something that I can actually accomplish. And so like it helps me to definitely like clear and organize things, which is like really important for me and dealing with stress. So, like to-do lists are like a big thing for me that help me a lot.
Yeah, okay, for me, to-do lists, like I just do to-do lists when I want to procrastinate. When I'm like, oh, look at all this stuff I have to do, I better write it all down with a fancy marker and stare at it for a few minutes and not actually do any of the stuff on the list.
Like, I don't always do it, but just knowing that it's there and knowing that it's like on a list and having it organized and like having it clear in my mind what I need to do helps me. I don't know why. It just does. So
I think to-do lists for some people are like great, but like for me, there's just a method of procrastination. It depends, but some people, like for you, obviously, it like works really well. Yeah. So keep doing that.
All right. What about you?
One of the biggest ones I think is just like going on runs. Like I just love to like listen to music and like, another one is playing piano too. But like I just love to like listen to music and like run and just like, you know, I feel like whenever I exercise, like I'm just like afterwards I'm just like chill, you know, because I'm like it's all good. You know,
like going with that, actually, like playing tennis for me is a big stress reliever because it's like just for like that 2 hours I'm disconnected from the world and it's just kind of like a break time, right? But it's also, I feel productive because I'm like working on my skill and like working out, but it's also like it feels good and like I looked forward to it a lot this year. Like before I kind of used to think of tennis as a chore, but this year like it's definitely something that I love doing. So,
right. Yeah, that's great.
And like I've heard swimming is really good for a lot of people. I can see how that'd be really
just I feel like whatever sport or like whatever activity you take part in that you love, like honestly for debate, reading contentions is so stress relieving. I don't know why.
I feel like a lot of like sports and activities are the cause for stress, but they also like relieve stress.
I don't know, like sometimes they stress me out and then sometimes I'm like, yes. Oh my god, taking baths. Do I even need to begin?
Oh god, disgusting.
I haven't taken a bath in so long.
Okay, I personally think baths are disgusting.
I personally think they're really stress relieving, so.
Okay, here's the thing. They're okay if you take a shower after.
No, but here's the thing.
Or before. But
why before?
Because you're cleaning yourself off before you sit in a pile of your own dirt.
Yeah, but then you're sitting in a pile of your own dirt.
No, but if you're clean, then there's no dirt to pile up.
Oh, I guess. Whatever.
But I always would shower afterwards. I haven't taken a bath in maybe like
Okay, I actually haven't taken a bath in a while, but believe me, they are so stress relieving. Trust me.
I've done like a bath like one time, like this, actually not 4 years. This year I took a bath like once. But it was really actually nice. I just like ate. It was like after I finished everything I needed to do. And it was like kind of like I'm done being overwhelmed because I finished everything. And then I just like sat with a Ben and Jerry's and ate in the tub. Which sounds disgusting actually. No. But really, I showered afterwards.
That's...
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, baking. Okay, honestly.
Oh, yes. I completely agree with you. Baking is
okay, baking and cooking too. I mean, but baking's different. Baking's better. I like baking better.
Baking to me is like gives me like tennis vibes because it's like you feel productive, but you're clearing yourself.
Yeah, no, I love to bake and stuff. Like to me, anything that's stress relieving has to be me by myself.
But,
like
yeah,
like nothing that's stress relieving involves other people. Honestly, because
actually, I feel like talking to people like just for fun.
Well, sometimes, yeah. I guess venting.
No, but then I feel guilty afterwards because I'm like, why were you doing this when you could have been actually being productive?
Well, I don't know. I guess like venting is stress relieving, but for me, I just feel like I don't know yeah. But for me, like I feel like the real ways that like yeah, other people can help me relieve my stress, but ultimately, I feel like I'm the only one who can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a distraction to talk to other people, but it doesn't help the fact that I'm stressed, you know?
For sure. Yeah.
But
I think baking is soothing. Also, I feel like baking can stress people out because but like for me, it's...
No, but you know like how sometimes being stressed about something that's not stressful reduces my stress?
It doesn't matter in the long run, but it's like stressful at the moment.
Like sometimes
for me, I'm the type of person that thrives in like chaos. Like I love chaos. Like I love a lot of things happening at once. Sometimes it does stress me out because I'm overwhelmed by it, but for the most part, I love being busy and like chaotic. So yeah.
Okay, this is really
and
weird.
Baking is great because it's like non-pressureful chaos.
Yeah, like sometimes I'm like replacing like emotions with like bigger like replacing stress. Okay, let me explain this. But like when I'm worried about something, I'll like think of something way bigger and way more important, and it'll like replace that. You know what I'm saying? Like replace something bigger. Like I'll just think of like the world and like the meaning of life, and give myself perspective. And that's oddly comforting.
That's important.
You know?
Other mechanisms that I don't do that I feel like are useful is like journaling could help.
Yeah, I journal.
I feel like people make fun of that.
I don't. They do, but you know what? It's fine. Like it's a fun. No, I journal like probably once every like 3 months or something, or like 4 months. Like I rarely do. I have like 10 journal entries.
I feel like journaling trauma is fun. I've heard people do that, and it like helps them. Because, like, remembering it, like, helps them deal with it.
No, yeah, for me, there's something about writing stuff down that's so comforting. Not, like, to-do list, but just in general, like, things.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Having it out there, so, like...
Reading!
Oh my god, reading!
Great coping
I love reading. Okay, to me, listening to audiobooks and, like, folding laundry or, like, doing dishes is, like, weirdly comforting.
Yeah, because, like, also, like, giving yourself time to just think about it. Like, I'm not saying that you should ignore your stress, because it is important to, like, recognize it. But also, like, having those moments where you're just, like, to yourself, and you can kind of, like, escape, like, kind of just, like, have, like, a different perspective on, like, and just, like, a different look into, like, different things is, like, what reading does, and it just allows you to sort of have a break, and then you could come back to terms and deal with it in, like, a more beneficial way, because it's, like, if you have that break, instead of, like, dealing with something by, like, picking your fingers, you can, like, take that time just to kind of, like, break off it, and then come back with a more rational mind.
Yeah, and it's also just important to just, like, have things you do that are, like, relaxing and just, like, laid back. Because your life can't always be, like, oh my god, run, I have a test, I'm, like, running for president tomorrow. Wait, what? That was really weird.
With that being said, I think
with that being said, vote for me when I run for president. Just kidding, I'm not running for president. But anyways, with that being said, I hope you learned something. And if you have anything you want to add, put it in the comments. If you are needing help, then obviously there are some resources out there, including hotlines and therapy that
we can link some of them in the bio.
Yeah, we can link some. But please, hope you learned something.
Check out our social media. Follow us on our podcast. Follow us on our Instagram. DM us for any questions or email us.
And you know what else is stress relieving? Talking about stress.
And listening to our podcast.
Making an episode. And listening to that episode.
So follow it. You know, check out our website. You know,
do you think that's stress relieving? I just
share it.
Am I stress cause it? Okay.
No, go away. Anyway, share the episode. I'm doing it solo from now on. Thanks, guys.
It seems Bye.